the cost of independence.
All of Danielle's numbers and projections are completely false.
Separatists dispute the price tag to leave Canada, but who's closer to the truth? Plus, all eyes on the rivers when a mountain suddenly gave way.
3 adults in the car, and we were like, holy crap, did that just happen?
A highway near Canmore is now closed following days of heavy rain. And a promising construction update on Calgary's new arena.
In the event level where the team spaces are, we're doing drywall and we're starting to do some finishing.
Still about 18 months to go, but so far on time and on budget.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. We begin with breaking news tonight. 2 pedestrians are seriously injured after a collision in northeast Calgary. Police say a vehicle hit the adult victims at the intersection of 32nd Street and 20th Avenue near Sunridge Mall. They were rushed to hospital in critical condition. Police say the driver remained at the scene and the investigation continues. This happened in a commercial area and there are traffic lights there. 32nd Street was closed between Sunridge Way and 24th Avenue as police examined the scene. The Alberta Prosperity Project, the group pushing Alberta separation, says Danielle Smith's costing claims for independence are completely false. The Premier said this week it will cost hundreds of billions of dollars to separate from Confederation. But separatists say they've done the math too, and they expect to generate billions in new revenue. Tyson Fedor reports.
The leaders of the Alberta independence movement say Premier Danielle Smith is inflating the cost of the province separating from Canada.
Keep in mind, this is going to be a negotiated divorce.
Alberta Prosperity Project lawyer Jeff Rath believes the Premier's Monday estimate of leaving of at least $400 billion misses the mark.
If it was twice the price of that, I would still say that it's 100% worth it, right? Just to get out from underneath the boot of Ottawa.
Separatists have shared door hanger information cards. They also say, as a standalone country, many systems are already in place, which would be taken over by an Alberta government.
Paying for immigration, paying for border control, paying for airports, paying for an Alberta army, picking up the tab, tripling the amount of money going into Indigenous communities in this province. Doing all of that, Alberta would have $29 to $48 billion fiscal capacity surplus.
Smith listed off a host of federal services that would need to transition to Alberta control, including Border Patrol, post offices, NATO commitments, CPP, EI, and railways.
The Premier finally having to get off the fence, which she has straddled fairly successfully for a year and a half, and finally having to decide that, hey, it's pretty dangerous to continue in this way politically.
The Premier also pointed to renegotiating trade deals and being slapped with tariffs.
I came up with almost $400 billion worth of transitional costs that we'd have to assume, in addition to somewhere between $25 to $50 billion worth of annual costs.
We're going to have a better trade agreement in a free and independent Alberta than Canada has, because we haven't been constantly sticking our finger in the eye of the president.
But economist Trevor Toome refutes those claims, long documenting that scrapping income and sales taxes would cut nearly $80 billion from government revenues, with his bottom line stating that a separate Alberta would be a poorer Alberta. Smith says the province will have its own costing document provided to Albertans before August.
And Tyson joins us now. Tyson, is still unclear how much Alberta could receive from Ottawa around CPP assets.
And Tara, for the last 3 years or so, Alberta's been waiting on that number from the federal government, as it's not been made public yet. I did reach out to the federal finance minister in his office today, but as they did receive our response, however, they did not provide one so far. Now, the Alberta government, along with the Alberta Prosperity Projects, believe that this number is around that $334 billion mark in CPP transfers and assets coming to Alberta. But speaking to many economists, they believe that number is much lower, in and around that $120 billion range. Tara?
Okay, Tyson, thank you. The heavy rain falling in the mountains has mostly tapered off now, while river flows in the Rockies peaked this afternoon. For many, the rain brought back some memories of the 2013 flood. However, it turned out to be much less intense. In Canmore, though, one restaurant has been forced to close, and some visitors had a very close call with a rock slide. Here's Tyler Barrow.
And then look what happened just ahead of us.
A close call Maritimer Tricia Livingston won't forget.
This rock from the ledge just came tumbling down, and it was insane.
It happened on a section of the Spray Lakes Road that has since been closed. Livingston and two friends were driving back into Canmore Monday night after visiting the Spray Lakes Range. She says they were 50 meters away when debris started falling down the mountain.
We sit there and think like, oh my goodness, what if we took one less picture, or like just the timing, like you never know, right?
In Canmore, some are dealing with the aftermath from all the rain. The Drake Screaming Retriever restaurant and brewery had to close Monday after its basement flooded.
The biggest damage was the loss of 2 days, 2 days of revenue. The staff won't be getting hours for those 2 days.
And as the Bow River flows from the mountains through Calgary, water is running high in Calgary, but significant flooding is not expected.
It's close to peak in the Calgary area, just over 400 cubic meters per second. And might go a little bit higher, but it's, again, far lower than the peaks that occurred in 2013.
Some pathways will remain closed, and monitoring continues for riverbank erosion and damage to bridges.
Oh yeah, I wasn't out when it was pouring rain. Thank goodness I didn't have to go out.
Many Calgarians were happy to see the rain, but at this point, they've had enough.
Definitely enjoy it more without rain because I like walking outside during my lunchtime.
It's nice and calm. Running is nice and cool now. So, yeah.
Tyler joins us now. So, Tyler, what damage has the city reported?
Tara, fortunately, very little. Since Saturday, 311 has received over 400 calls regarding water pooling on the roads. Now, city crews are working to clear those catch basins. Well, over half of those calls have been responded to. Now, as mentioned earlier, the city is closely watching for riverbank erosion. However, they're not seeing much yet. Tara?
Okay, Tyler, thank you. Let's bring Danielle in now. So it looks like it's drying up out there. We're seeing the last of the showers.
Yes, this is just starting to taper off. So still isolated showers really possible in the city throughout even the overnight hours. And then it's a much different day for us tomorrow. Here's the core of the low just to the east of the Saskatchewan border. So not further from where it was this time yesterday. But as you can see in the province, it is lightening now. Just to zoom into Calgary, you can see that heavier band is now pushed its way out. There's still showers on the way. So on and off showers right until the midnight hour is possible. We're not going to really pick up more totals, maybe another millimeter or less. 8 degrees in the city right now. So yes, we're still cool and we're certainly gusty, and it will continue to be gusty as well through the evening and the overnight hours, up to 50 kilometers per hour. But as you can see, tomorrow is a very different day. The winds will calm down. The sun will come out. Bit of a chillier start, 8 degrees in the morning to kick off the day, but 18 degrees as our high, and we should see a whole lot of sunshine out there, Tara.
Nice. Thanks, Danielle. A new report shedding light on just how much water is wasted in Calgary's aging system has sparked calls for a massive investment from City Council. Tim Brooke joins us now, and Tim, the data shows a lot of water waste.
Yes, in 2025, the city lost almost a quarter of all of its treated water due to system leaks before that water could reach consumers. And Tara, this is not a new problem. Some of the data out of City Hall today shows that we've been losing around that amount for each of the last 5 years. The leaks happen due to aging or broken joints and valves, ruptured service lines, and of course, due to water main breaks. Now, the city has a new goal to bring that waste rate down to 15% leakage by 2030. Council wants to spend about $342 million on replacing water mains and on adding more meters and monitors to determine exactly where the leaks are occurring. Now,
Calgary has a large, complex distribution system, and finding leaks can be challenging. A lot of Calgary's soil is gravelly and porous, so some of those leaks don't come to surface. We have to actively go out, look and listen for those. It can be a pretty significant activity, and we're certainly committed to increasing our surveying rate and finding and fixing leaks as they occur in the system.
Okay, so Calgary lost 23% of its treated water last year. To put that in perspective, the national average in Canada, 17%. And the best city for water leakage and waste in Canada is Edmonton. That city lost only 5% of its water last year, Tara. A large reason for that is because of the clay ground in Edmonton. It allows some of the leaks to surface quicker so crews can respond.
Okay, Tim, thank you. Residents of Bearspaw are fighting a proposal for a massive gravel pit in the area. It's a fight they have already won 3 times in the past, and they're wondering why they have to go through it all again. As Kevin Green reports, they're also upset that this time the province changed the rules about how the final decision will be made.
A sign along Burma Road marks the spot where Heidelberg Materials plans to open a gravel mining operation that could run for the next 30 years. The site on the northwest edge of Calgary is surrounded by hundreds of homes. Residents want the project stopped.
How can you sit on your patio and enjoy, your beautiful surroundings when you're listening to the vibrations in the gravel and the noise?
There are already several gravel pits in the area. Residents say one more is one too many.
Scott Pit is the tipping point of all this. There should be no new development of gravel pits west of Rocky Ridge Road.
This is the 4th time Heidelberg has sought to develop the site. The first 3 times the project was rejected by Rocky View County, which confirmed to CTV it has now been removed from the decision-making process, writing, previous applications for gravel extraction at this location were considered through the county's municipal process and refused. However, in 2024, an order in council directed the project to the Natural Resources Conservation Board, which is now the provincial decision-maker for this matter. That change has people here worried local voices will carry less weight.
The municipal governments work with the people, they work with the character of the areas that they're involved with, and they know what's going on. The government doesn't.
In a statement to CTV, Heidelberg says the project is required, writing the proposed Scott project operations are being reconsidered due to the increased demand for construction aggregates in the area. The company says the project includes a 4.5-kilometer conveyor belt moving gravel to its Spy Hill site, which it says will reduce truck traffic, noise, and pollution. It's not enough for Rod Lipman, who says if the project is approved, he may have to pack up and move.
I would like to stay here, but I just can't see why I would or anybody would want to live next to a mining operation.
Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
The NRCB says it has not yet received Heidelberg's completed application, but says once it does, a public hearing will likely be scheduled. The board says a decision would follow within 80 days of the hearing concluding.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
The seating bowl has been poured and the drywall is starting to go in at Calgary's new event center. An update on the new home of the Flames shows the project is still moving along according to plan. Jordan Canagan joins us from the project site tonight, and Jordan, work is really ramping up there.
Tara, we've had wind, we've had lots of rain lately, of course. We've had snow even not so long ago here in Calgary, but the site behind me is getting busier and busier, and you can see that building behind me. It's massive, and it really is starting to come together. We're just past the halfway mark of construction on Scotia Place, and about 40% of the budget has been spent as well. But we received an update today and saw more clarity on exactly what's next for this project. No longer just in the Saddle Dome's shadow, Scotia Place is taking shape.
Things are progressing really well. One of the cleanest work sites that we've had. Council had a tour about a month ago. It's looking really good.
Officials say the new event center is on time and within budget. It's set to open ahead of the 2027-28 NHL season.
Got to try and get it watertight as quickly as we can, and we should be there by August, September. But we're already on the event level where the team spaces are. We're doing drywall and we're starting to do some finishing, and plumbing is going in.
About 800 workers will be on site every day throughout summer. It'll get even busier for the last year and a half of construction, with upwards of 1,300 people working on any given day. 2 new hotels have been announced within walking distance of the new arena, and at least 2 more are expected to be finalized soon.
What we're seeing that what council was hoping would come out of all of this is that there's been significant investment that's been made in the surrounding area, and so it really is turning out to be a catalyst in regards to redevelopment opportunities.
Sticking to the $926 million price tag for the building itself is always considered a risk, but officials say it is on budget.
Somewhat comforting is the fact that we've only got 5% of the budget still to contract. And so, it's a lot of the late stuff, as you can appreciate, furniture, all the stuff that goes into the building near the end. So it's nice to know that 95% of it is behind us.
Jordan Cadigan, CTV News, Calgary.
Work is also underway on road improvements in the area, including the 6th Street Southeast Underpass. The arena is scheduled to open in the fall of 2027. Canada wants a renewal of the North American Free Trade Pact for the long haul, but will the U.S. make that difficult? We'll have the latest as top trade reps from Canada and the U.S. meet in Washington. Also ahead, some terrifying moments in Japan. A bear attacks multiple people. Trade talk is front and center with the minister leading that file, Dominic LeBlanc, in Washington ahead of a high-stakes meeting. He issued a letter to the U.S. and Mexico calling for a lengthy renewal of the Continental Trade Agreement. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports from Washington.
Minister, what are the goals of this meeting?
The goals of this meeting is to be able to tell you how well it's gone when we finish at 5 o'clock this afternoon.
The Canada-U.S. trade minister and chief negotiator in Washington to talk with the top U.S. trade rep, Jameson Greer. Dominic LeBlanc issued a letter to the U.S. and Mexico officially stating Canada's recommendation for a 16-year renewal of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico Free Trade Agreement.
We took stock of the work that the Americans want to do with Canada and the work that we're prepared to do over the coming weeks. I remain optimistic about the work that we can do with the Americans.
While a delegation from Manitoba was also here Tuesday, separately meeting with other U.S. trade officials.
There's clearly a path forward. There's clearly an importance for both countries as well to find a solution to this. So, I think we heard clearly what some of those irritants were. I think there's a path that we can make these kind of go away as well, though.
The U.S. has made its irritants known. The booze ban, supply management, and the Online Streaming Act high on the list, with one source today quoting frustration from U.S. officials who said dealing with Canada has been a roller coaster.
He seems to go and socialize and come back empty-handed while the Mexicans have been in formal negotiations, eating our lunch for the last 6 months. I am concerned that Mr. LeBlanc goes down at a time when Mark Carney has led us into the only recession in the G7.
The Prime Minister, meanwhile, tried to downplay the idea Mexico is further ahead in talks.
There's a series of issues, technical issues that they have with Mexico, they have with us, which is why there's a bifurcated discussion. So 30 issues or so with us, more than almost 60, I think, with Mexico at current count. And so we're working through a series of those issues.
Mexico has already wrapped up one round of trade talks with the U.S. with 2 more set, leaving many worried about where that leaves Canada ahead of a July 1st deadline. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Washington.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
All right, so Danielle, how much rain did we actually get the last 3 days?
Well, you can definitely say a lot. Many communities saw well over 100 millimeters of rain. Calgary is included in that. Check out this little chart here. Calgary, anywhere from 70 to 110 millimeters of rain. Now, the timeline on this is Saturday night through 6 p.m. today. Staveley is the winner at 143 millimeters of rain, same time period as you can see here. Lethbridge just over 100 millimeters, Pincher Creek right at 100 millimeters at this point, and Medicine Hat 66. These are some huge totals. Of course, in some cases it was too much rain and there's a lot of pooling, a lot of people, basements flooding, things like that. Still be careful out there on the roads. We're not fully done with this. There's still water pooling in some spots, and we're still looking at showers continuing on and off right until the midnight hour for the city, and even longer for areas in the southeast corner. 8 degrees, so we're holding on to this cold air for the rest of today, and then things will improve tomorrow. It's 9 in Lethbridge right now in Pincher Creek, 8 in Milk River, so well below normal. Winds, yes, it's been gusty. We maxed out at 65 earlier today in the city, and in the 50s for Lethbridge and Red Deer. The winds will be a lot calmer tomorrow, so it's a very different day tomorrow. No rain expected for tomorrow for most communities. A lot of sunshine, so a lot brighter, calm winds. All right, so when we look at the system, many ingredients were in place for this system to deliver a lot of rainfall. One of the ingredients is that it's such a slow mover, so the core of it is really not far off from where it was this time yesterday. But it is lightening up as it starts to track off to the east for many reasons. We have less upsloping, so less air pushed up the mountains here. And you can see this heavier rain that's now shifting out of the city, but still behind it, there are pockets of showers. So isolated showers right up until the midnight hour. We're not looking at picking up any more real accumulation in Calgary, but to the south, because a lot of the heavier rainfall is tracking to the south, another 1 to 2 millimeters is certainly possible. Clare's home down through Lethbridge and Milk River, but Medicine Hat 7 to 9 millimeters possible before this is all fully said and done, because it will linger around in the southeast corner a little longer. So as you play this through, you can see by 2 a.m. it's still in that southeast corner, but it clears out everywhere else. This is a look at tomorrow. Lots of sunshine expected. And then there will be some late day instability in the mountains, but we're stable enough that it should stay off to the west. Let me fast forward, though, till late Thursday. Thursday, we do have a chance of isolated showers and even non-severe thunderstorm activity. Temperatures will be a lot warmer. This is your Action Furnace 5-day forecast. 18 degrees tomorrow, mainly sunny. Small chance of a little sprinkle later in the day in the city. And Thursday, yes, we do have the risk of a late day thunderstorm, but by then we'll be at a high of 20.
A retired Calgary judge has been appointed to chair the province's new electoral boundaries panel. Retired Justice Brian O'Farrell will head a new panel overseeing a second attempt at redrawing Alberta's electoral boundaries. The provincial government rejected an impartial panel's recommendations and is leaving it up to a UCP-led committee to redraw the ridings map. The opposition questions how O'Farrell can be impartial, given he has donated money to the UCP. The UCP says the retired judge is free to personally participate in the political process and can still be trusted to be impartial professionally. Teacher organizations from across the country are calling on governments to not use the Notwithstanding clause in labor negotiations. The joint statement at the end of a national meeting in Banff pointed at several instances of the clause being invoked in Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario, and Quebec. Most recently, the clause was used after the teachers' strike in the fall here, forcing educators to take a new deal and preventing them from using the courts. The Canadian Teachers Federation believes governments are using the clause to make legislation stick instead of facing judicial scrutiny.
The Notwithstanding clause was intended to be used in the most extreme of cases, those cases where balancing the rights of different groups seemed nearly impossible, and there was a recognition that some people would lose rights.
The statement calls on governments to commit to good faith bargaining and to resolve disputes through negotiation and mediation. Donald Trump is reviving his Canada as a 51st state rhetoric. We'll explain how Canadian politicians are reacting to the latest barbs from the U.S. president. And a really great retirement project, Calgary seniors helping young cyclists. A bear attacked 4 people in Japan today. You can see it rush toward a man in a parking lot. He tries to run before the bear knocks him to the ground. An approaching vehicle eventually scared the bear away. However, the bear went into a nearby factory and injured another person and 2 other people in the area. Japan's Environment Ministry says last year bears killed 13 people in more than 230 attacks. U.S. President Donald Trump is taking the news that Canada is in a technical recession as an opportunity to revive his threats of making Canada the 51st United States. CTV's Rachel Aiello is following this for us from Ottawa.
The U.S. president is at it again, taking to Truth Social last night to call Canada the 51st state. A message amplified this morning by the American ambassador to Canada. Prime Minister Mark Carney said despite the rhetoric, it's an administration Canada has to work with.
We take the administration as it is and are working together on a number of areas.
Canada strong.
This less than a week after Carney said a strong Canada would help make America great again. And that line was one U.S. Ambassador Pete Hoekstra said was worth repeating. Asked what he makes of Donald Trump using recession talk to revive the annexation taunt, Pierre Poilievre called it ridiculous.
We have to make sure that we don't allow ridiculous comments like that to distract us from the very real suffering that Canadians are experiencing. The regret that Mr. Carney has created this weakness going into formal negotiations.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford also pushed back, while noting Ontario created 380% more jobs than the U.S. per capita in April.
Yeah, here he goes again. Here goes President Trump again, 51st state. I get tired of that guy.
These Canadians weren't worried about the U.S. trying to use our economic slowdown as leverage.
Got lots of opportunities here. We are a country with minerals. We are a country with professionals.
Canadians will have none of it.
Does Trump even know what leverage is?
This is not just Canada that's experiencing the economic issues. It's a worldwide thing.
While the Canadians we spoke to didn't express the same concerns, today the opposition called on Carney to present a plan to reverse the recession so that Canada can go into this summer's trade talks in a better economic position. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Just ahead, it is a true Canadian food mashup. But is it tasty? Coming up in her trending section, new combinations from two homegrown food favorites. There is a lot to be learned by students in the trades, but one topic tends to get neglected, and that's mental health. Now there's a new toolkit for that. SAIT is partnering with the Calgary Construction Association to remove stigma around mental health and addictions. The Tailgate Toolkit aims to have practical conversations that address issues that crews face on work sites. The toolkits started in British Columbia 2 years ago, but are now being offered to students here. There'll be 8 toolkit talks per year, which could benefit up to 5,000 students.
The construction industry has a record of some pretty significant challenges around mental health, addiction, suicide rates. And so it's as important that you learn about mental health and wellness as you do about the physical trade itself, as well as physical safety, so that you are really set up for success in the long term.
You can find out more at the tailgatetoolkit.ca. Finding purpose after retirement isn't something that volunteers at the Bike Shed have to worry about. Every Tuesday, they meet to repair bicycles for new Canadians and underprivileged children. They're part of a larger international group known as Men's Shed. Volunteers say it's a rewarding way to see a youngster learn to ride, take a bike home for free. Kevin Fleming reports.
He's repaired countless bicycles in his 8 years volunteering here, and Steve Donaldson says there's always something to challenge him, like this BMX bike he's working on.
This one's got a flat on the front tire, the back brakes don't work, it's rusted out on the axles, so there's a number of things wrong. It looks great, but when you get down to the minutia, there's a lot of little problems with it.
He's one of a handful of volunteers in the Bike Shed, making these bikes roadworthy again.
I've seen the big difference that it makes, allowing underprivileged kids to have bicycles normally they wouldn't have, newcomers to Canada who've never had a bike to ride on. I've seen the donations to them and the smiles it brings, so it's great.
Murph Graham heads the operation and says it's part of the Men's Shed that has 4 programs in Calgary and 175 in Western Canada.
What we do is we receive donated bikes and we collect bikes from the landfill that can be refurbished and take them out, and we fix them up.
Rob Gernhardt is new to the group. He likes to work with his hands fixing things, but bikes are new to him, and he's learning a lot from the others.
A lot of people, I think, struggle in retirement with finding a sense of purpose and meaning, and this has been great, like even just going out, we had a sea can full of stuff, and going out there and helping load the bikes and finding bikes that, hey, I did this one and this one, this one. It's kind of cool, right?
Glenn Bishop says there's never a shortage of bikes to work on, and they keep old parts that can be reused. They've received some donations to help purchase a few new parts, but he says making the bike safe for the kids is what it's all about.
That's what keeps you coming back, right? I mean, as much as I enjoy just fixing the bike, it's much more rewarding when you see someone using this bike that's never ridden a bike.
Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
That's so awesome. Now, this weekend, a lot of the repaired bikes will be at YYC Cycle Fest, hosted by Youth en Route in East Village. Bike Shed volunteers will teach kids how to repair flat tires. We've posted more information about YYC Cycle Fest, the Bike Shed, and Men's Shed on our website.
Isn't that terrific?
That's awesome. Really? All right. Well, New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani might have lost a few votes with this one, but only amongst parents. Kids are loving him right now.
Who's ready to watch the Knicks? Me! Who's ready to watch the Knicks win the championship? Me! All right. Here we go.
Okay, so Mamdani has signed an executive order repealing bedtime for children. So kids are allowed to stay up to watch the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals because all the games in the finals are set to tip off at 8:30 p.m. New York time. Obviously, kids are in bed, so Mamdani threw his support behind the city's youngsters. He said, nope, everyone's going to stay up late to support this team. Sorry, parents.
That's why sports are so important. You remember things like that.
Absolutely.
Remember those games, right?
And he just became the coolest guy ever.
City Hall said so. You got to do it.
Yeah.
Well, here's an interesting snack I bet those kids would love. It's a mashup of two very Canadian treats. So beaver tails and Kraft Dinner are collaborating on two new dishes. The first is this one. It's called a KD Takeover Beaver Dog.
Yum.
It's an all-beef hot dog wrapped in beaver tails pastry and then topped with Kraft Dinner and ketchup. I think that sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah, give it a shot, right?
Yeah. The second one, I would try it, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
The second one's the KD Takeover Poutine. So it's a loaded poutine with Kraft Dinner, bacon, and chives. Yes, hello. They're only available till August 9th at select Beaver Tails locations.
If they add a burger into that mix, it's like the perfect trio right there. Not gonna lie.
You know what? You could look for these. I know there's a Beaver Tails at Callaway Park. I bet they'd have it there because kids would love that. So
they're going to be busy there.
Yeah, look for it there. Well, finally, we get up close to something you likely don't pay that much attention to out in the forest, but maybe you should. This is moss. Close up. A Swedish biologist who's also known as the Moss Ranger is also an extreme macro photographer and loves giving people a glimpse of all that gorgeous greenery that grows on the ground. His Instagram page is full of the most gorgeous photos of the forest ecosystem and is totally worth checking out.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Wow. A unique Calgary program is breaking down barriers between young people and the arts. We go behind the scenes at today's big event. That's coming up.
Here is your Skywatch weather camera, and it's still gloomy, still a little rainy, it's still cold, and it's still windy. But hey, all of this is starting to let up and we're slowly starting our improvement. 8 degrees current temperature, also today's daytime high. Normal is 19, and guess what? That's pretty much where we're going to be for our daytime high tomorrow. So we just need another day, and then you'll notice a huge difference. 8 degrees in Calgary at the airport, 9 in Lethbridge and Pincher Creek, 8 in Milk River. It's also 9 in Banff. Drumheller, Brooks, Medicine Hat got into the double digits today, though. All right, radar and satellite. This system not far off from where it was at this time yesterday. It's tracked a little bit off to the east, but that's helped relieve some of the factors of the system that was producing rainfall. Right now, this is starting to lighten up, as you can see here. So this heavier band is starting to shift down south along the mountains and clipping Highway 2 here, but the heaviest is mainly out of Calgary. We will still have isolated showers right up until about the midnight hour, and the gusts will continue until that point as well, up to 50 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow, though, we'll kick the day off at 8. The clouds will start to clear. Expect fog patches out there for the morning commute. And then by tomorrow afternoon, 18 degrees is our high. Small chance of a little sprinkle, but most likely that will stay way off to the west in the mountains. That's your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace. fixed right or it's free. And a look around on temperatures. Kamloops looking at a high of 27 for tomorrow. Edmonton and Red Deer 17 degrees. Coronation 16. Calgary, Coronation, Drumheller, High River all looking at fog for tomorrow morning. Lethbridge and Medicine Hat 17 and 19 degrees for daytime highs.
The group pushing Alberta separation says Daniel Smith's costing claims for independence are way off base. The people leading the Alberta Prosperity Project say Smith's claim of $400 billion on transition costs, plus up to $50 billion annually, is completely false. Calgary's new event centre is halfway to completion. Officials say it's on time and on budget at $926 million. Scotia Place is scheduled to open in time for the 2027-28 NHL season. 2 pedestrians are seriously injured after they were hit in northeast Calgary this afternoon. It happened near Sunridge Mall. Police are still investigating what happened. Lethbridge residents are being asked to conserve water despite all the rain that has fallen the last couple of days. The flow of the Oldman River has increased nearly 500 cubic meters per second since last week. That higher flow has washed mud and debris into the river, creating challenges at Lethbridge's water treatment plant. It's having to draw some water from its reservoirs to meet demand, so residents are being asked to cut back on non-essential water use over the next few days. We have an update on home sales in the key BC market of Vancouver. The details from BNM Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez.
Home sales in Metro Vancouver were down almost 4% in May compared to May of 2025. The biggest weight on the sector, apartment sales. They were down about 7%. The benchmark price of a home is also down year over year by more than 6%. For May, it was just over $1,100,000. The benchmark price for an apartment specifically in Metro Vancouver was just under $700,000. Here are the closing numbers for the day. Canadian dollar up a fraction to 72.27. West Texas Intermediate up to 93.53. Western Canadian Select is down to 71.43. And the TSX popped up over 400 points today for a new record close of 35,169. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
It's a program that began 4 years ago with a focus on getting more young kids engaged in the arts. Our Moses Woldu takes us behind the curtain of Arts Reimagined and what's being done to encourage the next generation.
Close to 400 students, grade 1 through 12, packed the Workland Centre. A day filled with events from concerts to sing-alongs and hands-on experiences with local artists, called Arts Reimagined.
We have the shyest students, the most quietest of students who suddenly they say to us at the end of the week, I found my voice. I found who I am.
The center is partnering with Calgary Arts Development. Through their research, they've found that children's participation in the arts has declined in our city. And one way to remedy that is to hold projects like this, which they say has positive effects beyond art.
The earlier you engage young people in the arts, the more engaged they become, the more voter turnout goes up, civic participation goes up, so like volunteerism.
It's part of a three-pronged approach, making art accessible to all students and to help provide skills for teachers in the classroom, breaking down geographical, financial, and perceived barriers.
The perception that kids can see themselves here and that they can see this belonging to them, if we can overcome that barrier, then this place belongs to them, this city belongs to them.
Through art, grade 5 student Liesl Ritz has found a connection with her classmates and friends.
I connected mostly with juggling with my friends, and yeah, some of my friends love juggling and I didn't know that about them.
One teacher says she's seen her students open up in her classroom.
Not just always pick up a pencil and write or do the math equations, that you can show your learning and thinking in different ways by building, creating, doing, collaborating, working amongst a team.
Seeing in real time as kids come out of their shell. Moses Woldu, CTV News, Calgary.
Organizers say 13 classrooms and 16 teachers have taken part in Arts Reimagined this year, and they expect that number to climb next year. Well, here's proof the Stampede is just around the corner. Qualifiers are now underway for some of the events. Glenn takes a look next.
Is influential here. Oluwaseyi for Jonathan Osorio.
through the keeper and in.
Canada's men's soccer team defeated Uzbekistan 2-0 in a friendly match in Edmonton last night, with just over a week to go until the World Cup. More than 46,000 fans braved the rain at Commonwealth Stadium. It was a cold, wet night. The Calgary Stampede is just over a month away. Glenn is back with us. And Glenn, you know the Stampede Rodeo is getting close and we start having qualifiers.
Yeah, Tara, they had the qualifier for breakaway roping today. Breakaway roping made its debut as a main event last year, and it proved to be a huge success. 80 competitors took to the arena at the Nutrient Center on Tuesday for the breakaway roping qualifier. The odds weren't very good. Only 4 would qualify to compete at this year's Stampede Rodeo. Dakota Segbor is from Nanton. She says competing at the Stampede would be amazing.
It would be beyond a dream come true. It's not even something I grew up dreaming of because it wasn't a possibility. So it'd be, I've watched the Calgary Stampede, my brothers competed, my family stock contracts the cattle, so to get, I never thought I would even have a chance to compete there. So just to get the opportunity is unbelievable, really.
The same holds true for Kendall Pearson of Wardlow, Alberta. Competing in the greatest outdoor show on earth runs in her family, and now she has a chance as well.
My sister's trick rode at the Stampede and stuff, so for us it runs deep, and like my dad bareback rode in it too, so for me it's on a personal level, but for everybody else, I mean, the money and everything, you can't even dream of it, and now we get the chance to rope. It's just unbelievable.
For years, the only women's event at the Stampede was ladies barrel racing. Adding breakaway roping has really elevated the sport.
When those professional level athletes are getting that main stage, that you're starting to see those grassroots really growing and developing, and we're certainly seeing that within breakaway roping at those junior rodeo levels, high school rodeo, college rodeo, and it's just driving the sport, which is great to see.
With breakaway roping growing in popularity, young cowgirls can now realize a dream and compete for big money. $310,000 at the Stampede. The winner takes home $50 grand.
There's been a lot of people before my time that has kind of got a foot in the door for us, and now us younger girls are getting the opportunity that they put the work in. But yeah, the doors are opening, and I'm excited to be a part of all of it.
The sport has exploded in the last few years. There's a lot more young girls coming out working hard at their breakaway roping, and girls that spend the time and money trying to elevate the sport and work at the breakaway roping because there's a bigger stage for us to compete on now.
Unfortunately, neither Segbor or Pearson qualified for Calgary, but a couple of Albertans did. Audrey Butler out of Wheatland County and Jenna Dallin of Nanton will compete at this year's Stampede, so good for them.
Hard to believe it's only a little more than a month away. Wow.
I know.
All right, thank you, Glenn. So final peek at the weather. Things are getting better and better.
They are. You know, we really need some sunshine, some vitamin D, and that's in our forecast for tomorrow. Look at that. A lot warmer as well, 18 degrees for our daytime high compared to our sad little 8 today. The winds will be calmer tomorrow and the rain lets up. Well, right now we're down to we've tapered off to showers, and showers are possible until midnight in the city. And then things shape up tomorrow. Thursday, late in the day, small risk of a thunderstorm, high of 20. We hold on to the 20s for Friday. And by the weekend, another system rolls in, but it will be nowhere near the system that we just had. 5 millimeters of rain expected rather than 110. Okay. Weather Window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, Alberta's climate. And Barbara Gibson sent this one in. She took it in Beaumont Park. It looks to me like someone's losing their trampoline. Like that's heading downstream. I'm sure a lot of people lost a lot of things in the past few days.
Oops. Thanks for your company tonight. Have a terrific evening. We'll see you tomorrow.